Hello, welcome to part 2 of Sacred Geometry as the basis of the 4 elements. In part 1 we laid down the foundational ideas, and now we are ready to learn the details of how zodiac signs are created, and specifically how the 4 elements of fire, earth, air, and water are created. So it is generally believed in astrology that the zodiac signs are a symbolic language, that there is this correspondence of what's going on in the sky with what's happening with life on earth through this symbolic language of archetypal images and mythic stories. And what we have found out in very recent times is that there is a process in nature that creates the zodiac signs. Now this is a change of the paradigm. It's a new conceptual framework. It's a whole new way of understanding what's going on. And when there is a new paradigm, it's rather unsettling because a lot of things that we have assumed are not quite right, or they're incomplete. It's not that there isn't a symbolic language, there is. But what's happening is that this symbolic language is built on something else. It is born out of something else. Okay, so it's a new way of understanding. And what's interesting is that we understand this, quote, something else in amazing detail, in incredible detail. And I'm going to start taking you into that detail in this video of where the zodiac signs come from. And we're going to focus again specifically on the elements within the zodiac signs and how they are created within the 12 zodiac signs. Okay, so what we started to learn in part 1, and I'm going to summarize this quickly. If you did not watch part 1, I'm going to throw out a lot of fancy terminology very rapidly, and you may just feel like, oh my God, this guy is way too geeky for me. This is like, whoa, take me out of all this geeky number stuff. But if you watched part 1, we took a half hour to slowly build this up, and it's really not that intimidating. It's quite simple. So let's just summarize what we learned and start getting into the details of this. What we learned, let's jump down to the bottom paragraph here, is that spin is fundamental. The Earth is spinning on its axis. The Earth is revolving around the Sun, which is also a kind of spin, a kind of circularity, a kind of motion that scientists describe as having an angular momentum. And even the subatomic particles have this angular momentum. Some properties that we can think of as, quote, spin, even though it may not be a physical spin. And then, of course, the sun is going around the galactic center and so on. So spin, this circularity or elliptical quality. And what we're proposing is that if you put growth cycles into the spin, poof, you get a zodiac. All you have to do is make this one guess that it's not just that things like to spin, but there's a geometry within that spin. There's more to it. And of course, in life we discover there's always more, deeper and deeper layers to everything. So we're